Good morning. Today I am going to discuss about catalytic hydrogenation, addition of hydrogen to unsaturation in the presence of catalyst is called catalytic hydrogenation. There is an unsaturated organic functional group undergoes hydrogenation in the presence of catalyst. It will convert it into saturated organic functional group. What are the characteristics of the catalytic hydrogenation reaction? First one, catalyst should be insoluble in solvents. Then the normal used catalysts are metals or metal sulfide or metal oxides. There is no selectivity in hydrogenation reaction using catalyst. That is almost all types of unsaturation getting reduced. And it is difficult to predict the stereochemistry of the product using catalytic hydrogenation. What are the metals used in catalytic hydrogenation? Nickel, palladium, platinum, iridium, etc. are the simple metals used in catalytic hydrogenation. Sodium sulfide is the metal sulfide used in catalytic hydrogenation. Platinum dioxide and copper Cr2O4 are examples for metal oxides used in catalytic hydrogenation. First, we have to discuss about platinum. Platinum is mainly used in the form of its oxide called Adams catalyst, that is platinum dioxide. Solvents used for this catalyst are acetic acid, ethanol, water, etc. And the main application of platinum dioxide is for the hydrogenation of olefin, nitrile group and azo compound. Another important catalyst is palladium, and palladium barium sulfate combination is called Rosenmann's reduction. That is, our acid chloride will convert it into aldehyde in the presence of palladium and barium sulfate. Another very important palladium catalyst is Lindlas catalyst, that is palladium calcium carbonate and quinoline mixture, or lead oxide can be used instead of quinoline. The main application of Lindlas catalyst is the reduction of alkynes. Alkynes will convert it into alkenes, and it will be cis alkene. That is the stereochemistry of the products. So using Lindlas catalyst, we get cis alkene from alkyne. That's about palladium catalyst. Next is nickel. The important catalyst of nickel is Raney nickel. That is an alloy of aluminium and nickel. The important applications of nickel catalyst is hydrogenolysis and for the reduction of aromatic hydrocarbons. For example, benzene will convert it into cyclohexane in the presence of Raney nickel, and pyrrole will convert it into saturated compound. Similarly, furan will reduced into saturated compound. The naphthalene can be reduced into saturated compound, that is a decalin. Then what do you mean by hydrogenolysis? Addition of hydrogen at saturation followed by sigma bond cleavage in the presence of a catalyst is called hydrogenolysis. That is, this is an saturated compound. Here hydrogen adds at a saturated bond. Then it will converted into CH4 plus HX, where X represents any electronegative atom like oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, etc. So this is the hydrogenolysis reaction. For example, this is a heterocyclic compound. In the presence of Raney nickel, it will undergoes hydrogenolysis. Hydrogen will add at a saturation and it will convert it into normal butane and hydrogen sulfide. Another catalyst is CuCr2O4, that is an oxide of chromium. The main application of this catalyst is conversion of amide into amine and ester into alcohol. Then what is the mechanism of catalytic hydrogenation reaction? The hydrogen molecule is assumed to undergo homolysis into atoms which are chemisorbed on the surface of the catalyst as shown below, where M indicated the site of the catalyst. The substrate is also chemisorbed on the surface of the catalyst. For instance, an olefin is chemisorbed in one of the method. Here olefin is chemisorbed on the surface of the metal catalyst. Then the last step is the union of one adsorbed hydrogen atom with the adsorbed species to form a half hydrogenated state, which then reacts with another chemisorbed hydrogen atom to give saturated compound. Then the resulting product will be the cis addition of two hydrogens. Here in the last step includes two steps. In the first step, one adsorbed hydrogen atom combines with the adsorbed species to form half hydrogenated state. Here one is metal, another one is hydrogen, that is half hydrogenated state. Again it reacts with another chemisorbed hydrogen atom to give saturated compound having two hydrogens. That is the mechanism of catalytic hydrogenation. And the most probable addition is syn addition. since it is a surface phenomenon. Then what is the order of reactivity of olefins? Reactivity decreases as steric crowding increases. That is, substituents as substituents increases, reactivity decreases. So, ethane will be more reactive than one substituted ethane. That is our propene. Not ethane, ethene. Ethene is more reactive than propene, which will be more reactive than two substituted alkene. Here the substituents are 3 and here the substituents are 4. So as the substituents increases, rate of the reaction will decreases. So nature of the unsaturated olefin or unsaturated functional group depends on the rate of the reaction and nature of the catalyst, nature of the solvent, nature of the surface of catalyst, temperature, pressure are the factors influencing the rate of catalytic hydrogenation reaction. This is a cis compound, cis olefin, which undergoes catalytic reduction. The product will be meso compound. That is, hydrogen will add to the substrate in syn manner. So, we get a configuration like this. This is our Sophos formula, which can be converted into Fischer projection formula, and we get a compound configuration like this, and that is our meso compound, that is which having a plane of symmetry, that is an optically inactive compound. So this is olefin reacts in the presence of a metal catalyst. We get an optically inactive compound. Whereas if the reactant is a trans-olefin, we get optically active compound. Here the hydrogen addition is same, that is our syn addition of hydrogen, but we get the product which is optically active. Another example for catalytic reduction. Here also it will reduced into saturated, olefin will reduced into saturated compound, and here is the steric hindrance. So hydrogen will be attached to this position, and here is another olefin unsaturated system. When we hydrogenated using deuterium, we get a saturated deuterium labeled compound. Here this is the steric hindrance area, so we get the product like this. Orientation of deuterium will be in this manner. Then what is the stereoselectivity in rigid cyclohexanones? This is an example for rigid cyclohexanone. In the presence of nickel, hydrogen will add to this carbonyl compound and we get an alcohol, where OH group will be in axial position. That is, hydrogen will add to the sterically free side. That is, the catalyst approaches from the less hindered side to avoid 1,3 diaxial interaction. Here is a substituted cyclohexanone. In the presence of nickel catalyst, we get the product like this. Here also hydrogen will approach the catalyst through the less hindered side and we get axially substituted alcohols. That's about catalytic hydrogenation. Thank you.